Come on everyone, this is AJ. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to part 3 of my A to Z of my Blu-rays, 4K, Steelbooks, Premium Edition collection video. So today we're going to be looking at the letter B. So yeah, let's just get started, shall we? Okay, so the letter B, we've got quite a bit to get through. First film, import, is the movie Bitch Slap. Yeah, it's kind of a sort of grindhousey style, sort of sexploitation, shall we say. There's no nudity in it or anything like that, but it's suggestive in what the women wear and this sort of a thing, you know. But yeah, so it's a fun film. It's done by the people who sort of, a lot of people who work behind Xena and that sort of thing. Lucy Lawless is in it, and the girl played Gabrielle, I forget her name now. She's in it also. Kevin Sorbo, who played Hercules, he's in it. And one of the guys who was one of his sidekicks also. Yeah, so well for people. Then we have Disney Big Hero 6. As you can see, this is a Poundland pickup, £2. Yep. Another Poundland pickup here, Burke and Hare. Simon Pegg and Andy Serkis. Not yet watched it, got to see it. And we have Cameron Diaz in The Box. A film I've not seen either. Another Poundland pickup. You're going to be seeing a lot of these, I fear. The Big Lebowski. Yep, still sealed. I have seen it a long time ago. Then we have a very funny film, Borat. I didn't like the sequel very much. Didn't sort of recapture the magic of the first. Another Poundland, Bridget Jones's Diary. First one. It was there, so I picked it up. The Breakfast Club, 30th Anniversary Edition. John Hughes. Always like John Hughes films. Then we have the BFG, which is sort of, it's a Steven Spielberg film, obviously. Bit of a misfire. Didn't land that well. But, you know, I picked this up very cheap as well. I think this was a couple of quid in Poundland when I picked it up. I wouldn't have paid full price for it, but a couple of quid is fine. Then we have this box set here, which is the Blumhouse Horror collection, which has films like Get Out, Split, Ouija, The Boy Next Door, Unfriended, Ouija 2 and The Visit. Yeah, it was cheap. It was in CEX. I bought it pretty much because I was drawn to the lenticular front on it. Obviously, some of these films, 2 of them, Get Out and Split, I have individually. The others, films I've not yet watched, and I'll be honest, I probably won't watch because I'm not that big into horror. But nice lenticular. There you go. Now, bone in contention with the next 2. Does this come under T or will it come under B? Because it could come under either. But it's Bumblebee. I know it's Bumblebee, but it is a Transformers movie, part of the Transformers franchise. So, you know, when I get down to the T's, I may forget that I've actually shown it here. And it gets shown again under that. But there you go, that's life. So Bumblebee, I do have the Blu-ray as well. Haley Steinfeld, John Cena, fantastic film. I had a lot of fun with this. I went to cinema to see it. I saw it on the same day as I saw Into the Spider-Verse. Me and my son went out of one, went into the other. I think we saw this one first. And I enjoyed both of them immensely, yes. Next one, does this go under L or does it go under B? Lego Batman movie. Well, it's a Batman movie, so for me, it's B. I have a steelbook for this as well, which will come up in a bit, no doubt. Then we have Sylvester Stallone in Bullet to the Head. This would have been a Poundland pickup also. And then we have the Brothers Grimm. Yeah, Heath Ledger, Matt Damon. Is that Monica Bellucci? I believe that's Monica Bellucci on the front. Yeah. Decent film. Now, a good Owen Wilson and Gene Hackman movie now. Behind Enemy Lines. Owen Wilson was very good showing his action chops in this film. shame he didn't really do no more action after this. Actually, it was very good. The film did get sort of straight to DVD sequels, but obviously no Owen Wilson, no Gene Hackman. Then we have the 30th anniversary edition of all 3 Beverly Hills Cop movies. Eddie Murphy classics. Very good. Whitney Houston, Kevin Costner, The Bodyguard. Had to get it. It was the era of Kevin Costner that I really loved. I know it's more of a chick flick, but, you know, very, very good. So, yeah, fantastic. Now, moving on, carrying on. Phil Collins, Julie Walters, Buster. As you can see, it is a CEX pickup. I haven't even attempted to take that sticker off of the slipcase. Damn you, CEX. Some of them peel off, some don't. I've got a feeling this isn't gonna. But there you go. Then we have from last year a fantastic little film that came out, Boss Level. This was fun. This film was fun. It had a sort of thingy vibe to it, Groundhog Day type vibe, where if he gets killed, he comes back to life and all this sort of thing. And I believe that's what it was, if I remember rightly. But it was a very, very good film. Really enjoyable, really enjoyable. I should give it a rewatch. Obviously, Mel Gibson and... oh, what's his face? Oh, I can't remember his name now. I can't even see with the writing on the back. And we have a Rutger Hauer classic, Blind Fury. I remember I keep renting this as a kid. I had a lot of fun with it. It's, you know, Rutger Hauer was great in his day. Yeah, shame really that we lost him. Jane Fonda, Barbarella, Queen of the Galaxy. Dynamite Comics are doing a Barbarella comic book at the moment. Just saying. Then we have a couple of Poundland pickups. Bleed for This. Haven't watched yet. Haven't got round to it. And Bad Lieutenant. Another one that I haven't got round to watching. But there we go. Then we have the film Breathe. Yeah, I was well impressed with this film. Andrew Garfield, Claire Foy. All I can say is Andrew Garfield is such a fantastic actor. He really is. I love him as Spider-Man. I'd love to see more of him as Spider-Man. Hopefully that's coming to pass. But he just delivers in whatever he does. He really puts himself into the performance. And this film is no exception. It was really, really enjoyable. Then we have the Tom Hanks film, Bridge of Spies. Again, a very good film. Very, very good. Steven Spielberg, inspired by true events. Well worth a watch if you get the opportunity. Next up, the Blob, the remake of the Blob that I had imported. Put it into this lovely pink case that I had because it sort of works with it. Yeah, very good. I remember seeing that as a kid. It's obviously a German release because it's got the reversible sleeve in there. Next up, an instantly forgettable rom-com, The Bounty Hunter. Seen it a couple of times because my missus wanted to watch it when I got it the second time round, and I can't remember anything about it. But Jennifer Aniston's good, Gerard Butler is good. I'm sure they do great in this film together, but the film itself is just probably a load of crap. There you go. And then we have Bridesmaids, which is a film that I bought in Poundland simply for the pink case. Yeah, so I've never seen the film, not interested in watching the film, not my cup of tea. I don't find women particularly funny. I'm offended by Melissa McCarthy. I hate the woman as an actress. She just winds me up. But there you go. So that's them. Okay, I've just gone and grabbed the next lot. So here we have Barely Lethal. Hayley Steinfeld again, who was in Bumblebee and more recently Hawkeye. Wonderful actress. Hadn't seen this film. I bought it because, I mean, look at the cast. Jessica Alba, Sam Jackson. Although he makes anything, the film is pretty forgettable. I can't remember what happens in it, but there you go. Then we have Baby Driver, Edgar Wright movie. A lot of fun, a lot of fun. I will say that. Next up, Bad Boys. This is a steelbook version of the first Bad Boys film. Will Smith, Martin Lawrence. Very good. And then we have Bad Boys 1 and 2. Both directed by Jerry Bruckheimer. Some of his early films, fantastic. I love both of these films a lot. Then we have the 4K release of Bad Boys for Life, the third film that came out very recently. Again, a lot of fun, a lot of fun. Then we have a shark film called Bait in 3D. I think this is the one where in the I think this is the one where they're sorry. I was looking at the back then, where they're stuck in like a shopping mall or a shopping centre shop, whatever. And the wave comes in and brings the sharks in. They got to try and find their way out. Now, I didn't mind the film. I am a sucker for shark films, but my daughter liked it. There were some actresses in it that she used to watch in some program about mermaids or something. Australian, I think it's Australian production, Australian people in it. But yeah. Then we have Basic Instinct, Sharon Stone and Michael Douglas. Need I say more? Everyone knows that film. Then we have Battle Los Angeles with Aaron Eckhart, which I really enjoyed. I really like that film. Then we have Battleship. Is it as bad as what people say? I don't know. I should give it a rewatch at some point. Next up, Dwayne Johnson in Baywatch. It's got its flaws. It's a comedy. Do you know what I mean? It meant to laugh at it. Fantastic film next. Beautiful Mind. So should this come under A or B? I don't know. It's under my B's anyway. So there you go. A Beautiful Mind. Next up, Big Fish. From Tim Burton with Ewan McGregor. Fantastic film. One of my favourite Tim Burton movies this is. I really like Ewan McGregor's performance. Albert Finney is fantastic in the film. It's very emotional. It's got quite a strong story to it, which is a bit rare for a Tim Burton movie because normally it's all style over substance with the guy. But yeah, no, that's a very good film. I love that. Then we have Big Game with Samuel Jackson. This one where he's the president the United States and crashes on a plane and goes into action mode or something. I can't remember much about it. Birdman and the Unexpected Virtue of Ignorance, the fantastic Michael Keaton. Yeah, and this film's all filmed in what looks like one take. It's very good film. Very good film. Kind of very self-aware in that he was Batman and then he's Birdman in this film. So, you know, there's a little bit of mock in there. Just need a sip of tea. Next up, Mel Gibson and Goldie Hawn in Bird on a Wire. I still sealed. Obviously saw the film back in the 80s. Chased after it more recently. Yes, picked it up. I remember it being good. Then we have Black Swan from Poundland. Natalie Portman. Yet to watch it. Not seen it. Then we have Van Damme and Dolph Lundgren in Black Water. Yeah, the reteaming of the Universal Soldier pair. So I was interested in see what this was like. It's set on a submarine, but it's not. It feels like they're running around the corridors of a warehouse. Pretty damn cheap film. Then we have from the world's best director, U-Bowl. Yes, fantastic director this guy is. Best. Don't know why I ain't been given a any awards whatsoever. We have Bloodrayne, starring Kristanna Loken, who was in Terminator 3. I was just being sarcastic if you wasn't aware. Anyway, yeah, so Bloodrayne based on a game property, I believe. And then we have Bloodrayne 2 without Kristanna Loken, but again directed by the fabulous U-Bowl. So these films are, you know, they're top notch, they're top quality movies. These are, really are. Then we have Bloodrayne the Third Reich. I don't know if this one was directed by U-Bolt also. It was, yeah. So again, it's going to be top quality stuff. I don't really remember them. You know, they're probably, well, they are going to be a load of crap, a load of dross. But there you go. Then we have the animated Beowulf. Yeah. Starring everyone's favourite Englishman, Ray Winston, Anthony Hopkins, John Malkovich, Robin Wright Penn and Angelina Jolie. Stepping back into the 1980s, fantastic film, a film I love. The Blues Brothers. This is the 4K version, special edition with Steelbook inside, and all a load of other bumps in there as well. Fantastic film, fantastic music. Dan Aykroyd, John Belushi, just, yeah, it's a revisit quite often. It's just a really good film, really good film. Then we have the Blu-ray version, which obviously I had prior to getting the 4K version. And then we have Blues Brothers 2000, the sequel that should never have happened, but I had to get it as a completist. It's a rubbish film, but it's got good music in it still. Not as good as the first one, but it's still some, you know, great songs within. Next up, Roy Scheider in Blue Thunder, the movie. Instant classic, about a helicopter that gets stolen, and, you know, yeah, it's a very good film. The Book of Eli, Denzel Washington and Gary Oldman. It's the one where he turns out that he's blind all the way along, and the Book of Eli, it's actually in his head, the Bible. Then we have the Bourne Collection, the Bourne Ultimatum, the initial trilogy, Bourne Identity, Bourne Supremacy, and the Bourne Ultimatum. Yep, the Ultimate Bourne Collection. Jason Bourne, that went on to, you know, it's why James Bond had to change his way and Casino Royale ended up the way it did. Then we have Jeremy Renner's spin-off, The Bourne Legacy. Is it as bad as what people say? I don't know, I got about halfway through. And then we have the one where they missed an opportunity in the titling, Jason Bourne. Yeah, I was dead against them titling it this. Jason Bourne, just using his names like John Rambo and that sort of a thing. But, you know, you could imagine if they'd changed the title. If they you know, my idea for the title for this was Matt Damon is still born. Think about that one. Then we have classic Mel Gibson, Braveheart. Historically accurate or not? It's a lot of fun. Oh, and talking of another fun film, Brawl in Cell Block H, Vince Vaughn. If you haven't seen this film, it's super violent, super cheap, but a lot of fun. Vince Vaughn is fantastic in it. Well worth a watch. Ryan Reynolds, one-man show, Buried. Whole film is Ryan Reynolds in a coffin. Good film. And next up, the Butterfly Effect trilogy 1, 2 and 3. Obviously the first Butterfly Effect starred Ashton Kutcher. The second and third was like straight to video, DVD fair sort of thing. But they came in this set. You know. Yeah. Butterfly 3, Revelations. Butterfly Effect 1, Butterfly Effect 2, Butterfly 3, Revelations, yeah. Now, stepping into a bit of sort of superhero territory. Got the German steelbook of Brightburn, Son of Darkness. Okay, I know not technically a superhero film based on any existing property, but it's essentially a spin-off of, or a spin on the Superman Kal-El origin story, and he turns out to be evil. It didn't live up to what it could have been. Yeah, that's all I can say. They didn't do with it what they could have. But there you go. Next up, Bloodshot, Vin Diesel, which is based on a comic book that was published by Valiant that came out in the early 90s. Yeah, this film feels like it was made in the 90s. Let's just say that. It feels like a product of old. Apparently they're meant to be doing a sequel. We'll see if that comes to pass. Next up, we have Pamela Anderson in Barbed Wire. I don't mind the film. I've got no problem with it. Based on a Dark Horse comic property of the same name. The character was actually designed on the look of Pamela Anderson anyway, so it made sense for her to play the character in the film. I know it's a bad film, but I can have fun with it. Then we have an import version of Barbed Wire, also, like so. But then, also, I have a German thingy version, like film book version of the movie as well, with you know, booklet in it. Now, I've got Barbed Wire 3 times. I did do a video in my early days as to why I've got 3 versions of this movie, how that came to be. This version here, this particular version, is limited to 500 copies. There were 2 covers available. One, which is the one that I have there, which I preferred. And the other one was, I believe, the image of her on the bike. So, next up, we have Chadwick Boseman in Black Panther, the Blu-ray version. I do have the 4K. We'll get to that in the video. And 4K version of Black Widow. A film that I enjoyed on first viewing, found it harder on second. A film that came too late, probably about 15 films too late, but there you go. Scarlett Johansson. Next up, we have the special edition release of Blade on Steelbook in there, like so, 4K Steelbook. And then we have Blade 2, which is still sealed. Although I've seen the film, which is a very good film. Blade 1 and 2 are very good, and not so good Blade Trinity. So then, keeping with that superhero theme, we have Batman the movie, the Adam West version. I do have the Batman TV series as well, but that will come in my TV series video, which will be right at the end of doing the alphabetised letters. Then moving to 1989's Tim Burton Batman film. This is the Titans of Cult release, 4K version. Yeah, fantastic looking steelbook in there, I think. Then we have the 4K version of Batman. That same film, so 4K twice there. Then 4K version of Batman Returns. Then the 4K of my least favourite Batman film, Batman Forever. Yes, I know people will rank Batman and Robin as their least favourite, but no, this is my least favourite. I have issues with this film. I don't like Val Kilmer. I wanted Robin Williams cast in the Riddler role. Tommy Lee Jones, great actor, but here he just feels like he's playing a second-rate Joker. The bat nipples were introduced in this film and all that sort of stuff. But there you go. So then, Batman and Robin, which looks fantastic on 4K. Now, I know this film has a lot of issues and people hate it. Arnie was great in it. I know he's just throwing one-liners out. But he doesn't feel like he's stealing the film. He feels like he knows that he's passing through a series of films and he's just enjoying himself. And the other reason that I can watch this film and enjoy it is because it is so far removed from everything else. I mean, that it's so tonally different and visually different that I can put it on that I don't have a problem with it. It's corny, it's but yeah, so it's not my favourite Batman film, obviously, nowhere near, but I prefer it to Batman Forever. There you go, my opinion. Now, I don't know if this trilogy should be in the B's or the D's, because it is the Dark Knight trilogy, but then it's a Batman film. So I'm doing it under the B's. So Batman Begins, because that was the name of the first film, so it is a B. And then obviously The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Rises, a wonderful trilogy of films. I know the third one gets critically slammed, but there's a reason for that. Because this film was so good, and Warner Brothers knew that they were backed into a corner after this film. They could not go and do a fourth movie because they know they would have depleting returns. Even though Dark Knight Rises earned a lot of money, which it was inevitably going to do on the back of this, it was critically... it wasn't... People weren't happy with it, shall we say, as much as they should have been. Now... So like I said, they were backed into the corner, so the last thing, or the only thing they had left to do was to round the trilogy off, to round the film series off and end it. And that's what happened. So, but no, as a trilogy, it's a fantastic trilogy. Then we have Batman Dawn of Justice. Batman vs Superman Dawn of Justice, sorry. The Ultimate Edition with a lenticular slip. I actually got two of these because I got the two sets. One that had the Superman statue and one that had the Batman statue in, which I do still have. And then we have the 4K version of that, the newer one that came out with the IMAX scenes and all that sort of thing in it, which it just looks fantastic. It really does. And then a quick, just look at this, the Battle Royale box set from Arrow with all the Battle Royale films in it and that sort of stuff. Yeah, fantastic looking set. Brilliant. Very happy to have that. So I had a little look under my horror section. I haven't got nothing beginning with B. Yeah, it's a bit odd, isn't it? But there you go. So yeah, anyway, next up, Bruce Campbell, Bubba Hotep. Yeah, I really enjoyed this film. Big fan of Bruce Campbell. Fantastic. We have Bolt from my kids section. Disney. One of my favourite Disney films, Beauty and the Beast. This will pop up again. And the Blu-ray 3D version of live action Beauty and the Beast. Now pick up from Poundland again, Breathe In. Not watched the film, but Guy Pearce is good, Felicity Jones is good, Naomi Ryan. So, she'll give that a watch at some point. Then we have Bone Tomahawk with Kurt Russell. Remember Brawl in Cell Block 88? Same director. Very violent film, western, very, very good. Then we have Vince Vaughn and Jennifer Aniston in The Breakup, which is an enjoyable sort of comedy about two people going their separate ways. Bruno, Sacha Baron Cohen again, very funny. Tom Hanks classic now, Big. Who doesn't like Big? Although looking at it through adults' eyes, it's a bit sort of questionable, because what's he turn into? He's 15 but becomes grown up, and it's implied that he's slept with what's the name, but there you go. And then we have Tieflish, or Bedazzled. This is Bedazzled, the comedy. Yeah, Liz Hurley, Brendan Fraser. I had to import this from Germany because it's the only way I could get it. But a good film nonetheless. I did enjoy that one. A lot of fun. Now, what would a collection of films be, with the letter B, without the movies Back to the Future? Yes, the Back to the Future trilogy. Timeless classics, all three of them. Brilliant films. Look at that shimmer on that lovely box. But not only that, I also have a 4K set like this, which, as you can see, has all this stuff inside, including the 3 steelbooks, which I didn't particularly like the design of them, but this set is just absolutely amazing. Yeah, lovely set. So now I'm going to take a step back into Batman territory again. There we have, first up, Batman Death in the Family, which is an interactive movie, but it's essentially Batman Under the Red Hood, the animated film, but you can choose the pathway of the story to go. I've not done it. I've not looked at it. It was very cheap. I picked it up as a sort of completist. Then we have Batman Mystery of the Batwoman and Batman The Return of the Joker, the uncut version. Now, obviously, these are sort of sequels to the Batman animated series, which I do have. But again, that's TV, so it'll be shown in my TV video when I get to the end of the A to Z's, or A to Z's, I should say. So, yeah, that's that. Then we have Batman Harley Quinn Steelbook, the movie. Again, set in that animated universe. Then we have from Elseworlds DC, Batman Gotham by Gaslight Steelbook again. We got a lot of steelbooks in a minute. Then we have Batman versus the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Alright, say what you will on the concept, but it is fabulously executed. It's a lot of fun. DC Comics did do a free mini-series, 6 issues a piece, of crossovers between Batman and the Turtles. I do have all 3 of them. They were very good. And then we have Batman the Killing Joke, based on the famous graphic novel. And we have Batman the Movie, Lego Batman the Movie. This is actually based on the PS3 Batman Lego game. It's got the clips within that. This was before the actual Batman Lego movie came out. But this I had a lot of fun with. It was very enjoyable. Yeah. Then we have Batman The Return of the Cape Crusaders, with the return of Adam West and Burt Ward voicing Batman and Robin. And the animated sequel, Batman vs. Two-Face, with William Shatner, James C. Kirk voicing Two-Face. Then another sort of Elseworldy type, Batman Ninja. Lovely spot glossing on that slipcover there. Yeah. And then we have Batman Year One, again based on a fantastic graphic novel from ages back. And Batman The Dark Knight Returns, which is Frank Miller's foray into Batman, where he took him from the Camp Crusader to the Dark Knight. I said Camp Crusader, you're not caped, because Batman was very camp before that, but he was the one who added a lot of darkness. Then we have Batman Gotham Knights, again Poundland pickup, as you can see, still sealed. It's from the producers of Batman Begins and The Dark Knight. It's kind of that sort of world and stories of Batman from the Dark Knight universe in that. Next up we have Son of Batman. Okay, technically S, but it's a Batman movie, so it's under B for me. Then Batman vs. Robin. Batman Bad Blood. Steelbook here, Batman Hush. Still sealed, but obviously I have seen it. Yes, I did a review on it when it first came out. And then Batman The Soul of the Dragon, animated film. And the 2-part Long Halloween. Where around does that go? That way. Part 1 and Part 2 of the Long Halloween. Steelbook versions. Fantastic. So, here we have Bad Santa 2. Now, I do have Bad Santa 1 somewhere, but I can't seem to find it. I did have it out for Christmas when I was doing my 12 Days of Christmas viewing. It's not one that I utilised in that series of videos, so it's about somewhere, but anyway. So, Bad Santa 1 and 2. I just can't find it. That's a bit sort of frustratingly annoying, shall we say. Anyway, so then we have the Mondo Steelbook for Black Panther 4K. And the Steelbook 4K version of Black Widow. Then we have the Batman Lego Movie Steelbook. These are pretty much all Steelbooks now. Did I say I had 3 copies of Barbed Wire? Make it 4. Yeah, a sort of steelbook, tin book edition, whatever you want to call it. Again from Germany. And my video was, why do I have 4 copies? Then we have Bride of Frankenstein with Alex Ross art on the cover. Alex Ross being a comic book artist. That's where I first knew him from. In the 90s, he'd done a series called Marvels, and he's gone on to do a lot of other comic work. Covers, interiors. Then we have Beetlejuice, Steelbook edition with Slip. Actually, not a big fan of that film. I know people love it, but there you go. So, the rest of these Steelbooks that I've got here in front of me. Okay, first up, 4K version of Backdraft. Kurt Russell, Robert De Niro. Fantastic film. Then we have Barbarella. Obviously, I had the Amaray, if you remember. This is just a standard Steelbook. Again, had the Amaray of this on Blu-ray. 4K version of Basic Instinct with some lovely debossing on the crack there. When I saw the photo of this, I wasn't sure if to go for this or the collector's edition with the bump in it. I didn't realise, when I got this, obviously it had the spot gloss and the cracking in it. You don't get to see that when you're looking at a photo. Then we have a fantastic film, Battle Beyond the Stars. This is a US import. Cheap Roger Corman type movie, but you know, it's George Peppard is in it, who played Hannibal Smith in the A-Team. Yeah, very good. Okay, this is here, but it should be under my TV section, but Battlestar Galactica The Plan, it'll probably be shown again under that. But then we have Beauty and the Beast, the live action 4K Steelbook. And a wonderful Steelbook of the animated in 4K. This is one of my favourite Steelbooks of last year that came out. It was in my video top 10 Steelbooks of the year. Or top 10 pickup Steelbooks of the year, I should say. Then we have Beyond Skyline, which technically I suppose could be under the S's because it's part of the Skyline Trilogy. I got it because it was cheap. Probably my favourite of the Skyline Trilogy films. Next up, stepping out of Steelbook, and you'll see why, is the Bill and Ted, the most excellent collection, the complete collection, all 3 Bill and Ted films. I opted for this because it had Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey on it. This sold out, it went up stupid priced. I bought it when it first came out. I didn't pay silly prices for it. It's since come back into stock, but it was selling for like stupid, about 80 quid or something. Even CEX is still selling it for about 50 quid. I see £50 sticker on it still, which is just crazy, ludicrous. But then back to Steelbook, so the 4K, bit sticky there, 4K Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. And I also have a Steelbook for Bogus Journey. Yes. Lovely Steelbook. Then Blade Runner, the final cut, 4K Blade Runner the first one. And then we have Blade Runner 2049, Mondo Steelbook. I love this film. I prefer it to Blade Runner itself. I think this is far superior. Blade Runner I struggle with because I do find it somewhat tiring to get through, a bit boring. But this film I'll watch and I'm in love with this film. It's just poetry on screen. It's so beautiful, so visceral. It's just, you know, it's just fantastic. But then I also have another Blade Runner 2049 4K version like that with all the bump in, which I got from CEX up in London. Yes, then we have Bohemian Rhapsody in 4K, still unopened. I have seen the film. I saw it on a cruise ship a couple of times as well. I don't know where I was cruising at the time. I can't remember where I was cruising. But anyway, so, yeah, fantastic. And then we have Bourne Legacy Steelbook. Still sealed. And I believe this is the last title we're going to be looking at now. And that is the Steelbook for The Boy in the Striped Pyjamas. Yes. fantastic film, very sad film. You know, about the friendship between two boys on either side of the fence of a concentration camp. A Jewish boy, a German boy, who become friends because their innocence transcends what's going on. They ain't got a clue. But yeah, so that's it. I believe that is all my B's covered. I did see a couple of A's that I forgot for my A's. I'll do them in the C's because they're Conjuring films, the Annabelle films, but they're part of that universe. So I'll pick them up in the C's with that. But yeah, so that's everything, I believe. That's it, got a B to it. That's it. So 2 weeks' time, we can go and look at the C's, which I expect to be far shorter than the B's. But anyway, so this is AJ. Thank you for watching. Please consider hitting that subscribe button and notification bell. Giving me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment if you so wish. I do reply to all comments. Anyway, I'll see you on the next one. Take care all, and goodbye.